Well, today we have Kevin Hester here from the Great White North of Canada, eh?
Hey,
And Kevin is the D3 athlete, featured athlete of the month for March, as he takes a big gulp. Uh, Kevin, you more than any other athlete, you get to see behind the scenes at D3 because you are our webmaster and the master of the website. Can't do anything without your permission, because I am blocked from doing anything in there that could screw things up.
yeah.
Because God knows I've done that enough times. So, um, tell us a little bit about your role with D3, and then let's get into some training and give us a little rundown on where you started from and where you came from. But let's start with your role at D3.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm the web guru, webmaster. We started off with the coaching site. So pick that up from the previous company and just kind of manage it moving forward. Work with Melanie a lot to get a lot of updates and stuff done for Athlete of the Months and team sponsor information, that kind of thing. And then just recently, we built out the new team site that you all know now.
Pretty sweet.
Yep, that was kind of a big overhaul, but it was good, and sounds like good feedback from everybody, which is nice. And then I help out with some of the videos that we do, and I think some graphics and things like that.
Sure, yeah.
Just to try to help anything web or graphical that I can.
Awesome. And you highly encourage everyone to get their profile done on the team website.
Yes, please go and get your profile done. If you have any issues, you can contact me. But I feel
Kevin at
D3 Multisport.
There you go. Awesome. All right, so let's just back up a couple years, because it's been a couple years we've been working together, coach athlete. We met through another team actually, and I tell Melanie once a week, what will we do without Kevin? Because I don't know, and it's fantastic. We did meet, but tell me, what was your beginning, in triathlon? Was it just like you wanted to do it? It was cool. And did you really have a regimen? Did you read stuff online? Like, how did you start your training in getting into it?
So I've always been a runner, lots of half marathons, one full marathon. But a friend of mine was into triathlons when I started a new company. So we just went running one day, and he mentioned triathlons, and I thought that was cool. So I went out and bought a book from Running Room that just had, I think it was a 12-week program. And I just signed up for my first race, which was the Toronto Triathlon Festival, its inaugural race. And it was an Olympic. So I just kind of jumped right into the medium distance, I guess. And that was it. I've been hooked ever since.
How did the run go at the end of that?
The run was terrible.
Yeah. Even though you're a runner, right? I mean, that's kind of how it goes, though.
I was sockless. I thought that was the cool thing to do, and within the last 2 kilometers, I could feel blood pooling slightly in my shoe, because it was also raining, so my feet were just constantly
lots of friction.
Yeah.
It's the old rule that just because you can doesn't mean you should, right?
And I never will again.
That's great. Okay, so then had you done a 70.3 before we had talked about coaching?
No.
Okay, and then we did one that first summer, and that was like 6 or 8 months buildup. Yeah. And your time blew me away for sure. I was amazed. I thought,
my goal was
a heck of a coach, or this guy's just really talented, and I think that's where it is.
It's definitely the talented part.
Yeah. So how did it go? It was up in Canada.
It was awesome. Every other triathlon before that race, or before you and I kind of really started working together, I always got out of the water, and I was on the bike, and I was always dizzy, and I never felt good going from one section to the other. And that, I feel that 70.3 was, for me, it was like a breakthrough moment mentally, because I got out of the swim and I felt good. I got on the bike, I felt good, and the run was good. There was one nasty hill we had to loop twice. If I known how close I was to breaking the 6 hour mark, I would have ran it once and I would have broke 6 hours.
Yeah, you were really close. That brings me to a question. Did you, which race was it?
Muskoka.
Muskoka, that's right. I want to say Manitoba, but it was Muskoka.
Yeah.
Right on. And then I remember some of the training you were doing, and you'd be like, do I really have to go this hard on the bike? Do I have to do these long runs off the bike? And I'm like, yeah, my thing is, as you know, my thing is always make the training harder than the race, right? And just get out there and get after it. Be miserable in training so you can actually enjoy the race and push yourself.
And honestly, that's kind of the thought that I remember a few moments when pushing up high watts on a bike to get up a hill. I remember I've done worse than this for longer than this. And,
right.
That mentality was helped.
Yeah. And I think when you see, the power on the bike or the time or the swim time and the Ks for you clicking off on the run, you're like, wow, I can keep this up. And it's not this, oh, I've got 18 Ks to go. It's like, I'm ripping this off. The first 5K is going to be X and the next 5K, right? So that's always a positive. Okay, so that was really good. Obviously, because of, obviously you got a young family, you got a job that's pretty demanding. You haven't had a commute for a year, but you did have a good sized commute every day for a long time. Cut back on the 70.3s. We've gone back to Olympics. But what I wanted to talk about really was just how I'm impressed that you're just, you've been motivated even through COVID, doing some virtual races, which, I don't shrug off or anything like that, but I'm kind of like, oh, it's just, it's not my thing because I need to beat actual people, but seeing that you're out there, you're beating your swim times and you're swimming by yourself, and then you're going on your trainer and you're crushing a course on Zwift, and then you're getting on your treadmill, and and I love the fact that you're filming all this stuff and you put them up on your YouTube channel and all that. I think that's fantastic. For me, what's impressive is that you've been able to beat some of your times. Like here we are, December, you just did another time trial, or was it early January? Be doing one like every 6 weeks. You're still beating your times from the summer. And I'm like, wow, how is this guy doing this? And I think, I'll let you speak to it because I know the word I'm looking for. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think you're gonna say the word. I hope you're gonna say the word. I think it should be.
Okay. I agree with you. Racing in person is like, it's nerve wracking. Like I get nervous before a race, no matter what. But my PB Olympic distance was a battle that another athlete and I had in the run at the end of the run. And I did some counting and I assumed that I was going to beat him into a top 10. And it's true. So kind of doing this at home by myself. I don't have other people around to train with. I do everything by myself, which is a little bit hard sometimes, but
of course,
to keep myself motivated to schedule in these races that you and I do is really helped a lot.
Good.
Sometimes when I feel unmotivated, I just remember, okay, in 2 weeks I got a race. I got to beat the last time. So let's keep doing it.
Right.
And keep putting the work in. Sorry.
So what do you think the main part of your training that's helped the most? What's the one word I'm looking for still? Begins with a C, ends in a Y.
A C and ends with an Y.
Second letter is an O.
I wanted to say determination, but that's not the letters you're telling me.
Right. So, this is a conversation I have with every athlete. And certainly when athletes start stringing together a week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you get to 6 weeks, you start seeing some good changes. And that's where the consistency pays off. Of course, that 6 weeks becomes 6 months and then 6 months becomes a year. It doesn't, it doesn't mean you don't take a month off or a week off here and there. That doesn't mean that. But I think you've seen your results have been a product of that, right? Like, so we're always focused on the process and not the end result. Like, you tell me what you want to, you can send me your goals, and you do. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I just, I know what it's like doing Zwift races. I've been doing more of them now. And there are some days like my legs are just, they're fried. I mean, I'm not going to hit the watts I want. And I think that it's great to have those goals going into those races. But, sometimes your coach will give you kind of a hard workout on Tuesday, and then you got to come back on Saturday and do a hard, race, and your legs they're not talking to you, right? They're just saying, I'm good. So, that's important too. But I know that, the goals are great, and the idea going into a race that you want to have, hit, 200 watts, 220 watts, or, average 22 miles an hour, whatever it is. I think that stuff is good for the peripheral, but I think the big thing is always the process of, okay, over the last 8 weeks, did I hit, 10 out of 12 bike workouts did I do all 16 that I was supposed to do, or whatever it is, right? The hard ones anyway.
Yeah.
And that I think is where the results come from, right? It's not just, hey, I showed up on race day. I mean, yeah, you can show up on race day and you can overperform your ability for sure, but that's not going to happen the next time, right? It's going to happen once or twice, maybe, but you've been consistent for months now, which has been great. And I know we did that duathlon this summer. That was the first time I did any virtual racing, really, and that was absolutely miserable. It was my legs were not working, but so that's why I applaud you and anybody else who does the virtual stuff. But
for me, for me, it's I need something to work towards. Like I try to get my workouts in day to day, mostly because I know that you'll be like, dude, what's up? Why'd you miss that day?
Or you're over 12 minutes or something.
Yeah. So, to have, the short-term everyday goals and the every 6 weeks race goal is in the back of my mind. It's another kick in the butt.
Right.
You want to skip a workout that day. Well, okay, I might not PB then, right? If you skip this workout.
Right.
So,
right. Okay. Well, that's awesome. And then so just just to wrap up, what are your goals for the summer? If things are back to normal? I know you guys are always having you guys are a little bit behind us, it seems like, on the COVID numbers. I hope they're dropping for you guys as well. What are your plans? I know you got a July race. You've got the race with your dad that you've done for years, which is awesome.
Yeah, we have our team relay that we do Toronto Island. We've been given the green light for that. So
good.
Crossed.
August?
Yes.
Yep.
And then I also had to defer an Olympic last year, so that looks like that might be going through.
Good.
But then virtually, we have my 5-day Ironman.
Yep.
And 1-day 70.3.
Yep.
Those two are coming up.
Yeah, they're coming up fast.
Hopefully the nicer weather, so I can do that outside.
Right.
Running that distance on the treadmill.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks for talking with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Any key takeaways, advice you'd give somebody starting out or working with a coach for the first time? And how do they get to have this interview? And how do they become the featured athlete of the month?
So definitely, if you're loving the training plans, definitely try to do a one-to-one coach. When we first started working together, when you would message me and yell at me why I didn't do a workout, or halfway through the workout,
Kevin, I don't yell. I encourage.
Encouraged. At first, I didn't know how to take it, but then, we had a talk one day, and you're like, you know what? I just have your best interest, and I'm trying to help you be the best you can be.
Right.
And for you and I did some training plans, and to have the ability to talk with a coach or have somebody that's tailoring the workouts to you instead of towards a race or a strength, it's night and day.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to go back from a one-to-one. Like, if that day ever comes to step down and go to like a training plan, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I recommend that 100%.
Awesome.
And if you want to be a featured athlete, get your workouts in. And just show the coaches and the staff that you're trying to do the best you can do, and also, a big part giving back into the community. That's also a huge thing too.
That's right.
Um,
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking with us today. It's been great.
awesome,
You
I
probably got to
appreciate
go
it.
shovel snow or something up there in Canada. I don't know what's happening.
It's actually nice. It's 6 degrees out today.
6 degrees. Wow, that's
Yeah,
warm. Okay.
gotta go put shorts on.
Okay. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
All
Bye.
right.